Here we go. On May 18, 2013, you murdered your boyfriend, Marcel Hill. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. You are claiming self-defense. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to May 18, 2013, were you aware that Marcel Hill had an extensive criminal history?
Not all the way, no.
Okay, but you did know he just had a criminal history, but didn't know. Did you know what it was for? You didn't know what it was for.
I was aware to some aspects of his criminal history.
Okay. Now, prior to May 18, 2013, have you ever heard the name Tracy Mosley?
Yes, I had.
Okay. Prior to May 18, 2013, have you ever met Tracy Mosley?
Yes, I had met Tracy Mosley back when I was 16 years old.
Okay, Tracy Mosley. Okay, I'm thinking Tracy. It's Tracy Mosley. Okay, thank you for correcting that. Tracy Mosley. Yes. Okay. You met her at 16. How did you meet Miss Mosley?
And that was such a long time ago. I think I just met her around the neighborhood. You know, we were around the same age. I want to say when I met her, I think she was like 18. I actually think I met her at my mother's house, like back in the summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna read something off to you. Okay. Tracy Mosley met Marcel Hill at Whirl Party Store, located on West Biddle Street in Jackson, Michigan. During the time of meeting Marcel Hill, Miss Mosley was only 19 years of age. Miss Mosley had gotten comfortable with Mr. Hill. Miss Mosley and Mr. Hill hung out on several different occasions. Both parties had spent time at one another's place, casually only. On several different occasions, approximately 5 times within 1 month frame, they hung out, just casual. That's it. Okay, she was hanging out at his place. He was hanging out at her place. She would spend the night at his, but she would not allow him to spend the night at hers or whatever, right? The friendship between Miss Mosley and Mr. Hill had ended because Marcel Hill tried to rape Miss Mosley. Miss Mosley was awakened by Mr. Hill trying to force himself on her sexually, meaning when she woke up, the tip of his penis had got into her vagina, and she was naked from the waist down. Did you know about this before your court day?
No, I did not. I actually found out that after my incarceration, when me and Tracy Mosley had been incarcerated at the same time.
Okay.
And she had told me of that story.
Okay, now, Miss Tracy Mosley, and I have it right here, a signed affidavit willing to testify this in court that Mr. Marcel Hill done these things to her. What happened? Why didn't this make it into court? Because this is damning evidence right here.
Well, this did not make it into court because at the time I was not aware of this. So that was the reason for the affidavit. I had become aware of several rapes that were committed by Marcel Hill after he had become deceased. They were brought to my knowledge by my public defender. And we also had a girl by I don't remember her name. I want to say Tina Martin. Maybe it might be her name. I'm not sure if that's her name or not. I will have to look into my records. But we did have another girl who actually, people were coming to me while I was in the county waiting to go to trial, and just basically what the streets was saying, like, oh, you didn't know that he rapes people, you didn't know this and that about him. People were making comments like, we thought he would be dead a long time ago because he beat women, and there was a girl, and she had said that he had raped her. So once she gave me her information, I had given her information to my lawyer, and he had looked up the case, and he had found the case on record. actually Marcel had served 90 days for this case, and they had his DNA on file, but they told me that this information will not be admissible in court because he was never convicted of it, because she had told me personally that she had dropped the charges because his family had begged her to, because she was actually marrying his cousin. And I guess they had told her that he had changed. But we did have 3 for sure that he was convicted of, that we knew of. And ultimately, they were supposed to be brought into evidence, and at the last minute, the judge said the evidence was inadmissible.
Okay, well, one of those women happened to be Heather Malone, because I'm holding up some papers to the camera. Is that the young lady, Heather Malone?
Correct.
Okay, now, from what I read, Marcel, Mr. Hill, Miss Heather Malone was lost. She didn't know how to get to a certain street, and she ran into Mr. Hill and asked where was the street at, and he volunteered his time to walk with her and to show her where it was, because he was going that way. So they cut through a abandoned schoolyard lot, if I'm not mistaken, a schoolyard lot, and he said, well, hold on, I gotta step back here and I gotta, take a leak. And as he went back there to do that, he told her to stand back there with him because they're trespassing. If the police see him, that's trespassing, and some could get a ticket and possibly go to jail. So she came back there, and as she was trying to leave because something just wasn't right, he appeared and jumped in front of her, and told her that you're going to give me some vagina. We're just gonna say that you're gonna give me some vagina, or I'm going to stab you. And she said it was a hole in the fence, and she dived through, took off running, and jumped through that hole and ran, or something of that nature. But she didn't get far because he got her.
Yes.
He raped her.
To my understanding, yes, he raped her.
Yes, no, she didn't get away, but he raped her. Yeah, she got a little bit, but she didn't get that far because he raped her. And he went to jail for this. He was in jail, and he served time for this. Let me pull up Mr. Marcel Hill's record, because I have his record here. Okay. Can I ask you a question, Mia? Did Marcel ever forcefully rape you or beat on you before this day happened?
No, he never raped me. There was times where he was aggressive with me, and he was aggressive with other women before the incident happened on the 18th. But no, he never raped me. The night of the incident, I did wake up. I woke up with my T-shirt and my thong on, and I did tell them that I don't remember how I got like that, being that I was so drunk. But they didn't really take that into consideration. So I don't really know what that was about that night.
Okay, well, right now I'm holding up to the camera Mr. Marcel Hill's criminal record. Okay, Mr. Marcel Hill has on 11/14/2000 aggravated assault, non-family, other weapon. Okay, on February 10th, 2005, Mr. Hill has a criminal sexual conduct, penetration, penis, vagina. That's Miss Heather Malone. Here we go again, February the 11th, 2005, criminal sexual conduct, second degree, forcible contact. Then we have again in March 18, 2005, sexual penetration, penis, vagina, criminal sexual conduct, third degree. Then we have 2/15/2012, assault and battery, simple assault. Then we have again March the 1st, 2012, assault and battery, simple assault. And we have again December 31st, 2012, assault and battery, simple assault. Why wasn't this man in prison?
Excuse me, what did you say?
Why wasn't he in prison?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, he has served prison time for some of those charges, and I don't know, he had been released, and so, that's a question, I guess, for the justice system. My question is, why was this evidence not admissible before the jury, because according to Michigan law, it is admissible to the jury.
Exactly. Are you telling me that this judge here did not allow any of this in court to be admissible?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to speak a little bit on your judge. Judge McBain. Let's go off into Judge McBain. Okay. In my opinion, I feel that Judge McBain could possibly be a racist. That's just my opinion, because it is true that in his court, poor black people don't have a chance whatsoever. This is public information, ladies and gentlemen, so you can go look up Judge McBain of Jackson, Michigan, and he over sentences people. He does not follow the law when sentencing people, and then the Supreme Court gets on him about sentencing people too harshly, and then he refuses and rejects to resentence people. Have you heard anything about this, Mia?
Yes, I have. There's a fellow inmate of mine. Her name is Dixon Bay, and she's going through something similar with that right now. She was convicted, I think, of a second-degree murder, but for whatever reason, Judge McBain feels like she should be convicted of a first-degree murder. And so she had went through appeal with some lawyers from Court of Appeal, and SATO was appointed to her case, and her appeal she's been granted some relief, and the courts had told Judge McBain that she was sentenced too high because of the guidelines, but because he feels that she should have been sentenced for a first-degree murder, he has been uncooperative in the court's instructions to lower her sentence. And so they're still going through this process of trying to get him to comply with the Supreme Court's instructions. And basically, he's made comments like, I'm the judge, I can do what I want. Basically, he's just real arrogant. He just kind of feels like he's untouchable, with my view of him.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Another case with People versus Stevens, where he was basically just being hostile, being, basically that same untouchable attitude in the courtroom, where his lawyers actually objected to him. I think the Stevens case was a child murder case or a child death case, and that case was ultimately overturned by the Supreme Court.
Okay, and I bet you he was not too thrilled with that and not happy at all.
I wouldn't imagine so, no.
Okay.